Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Investor Shed podcast. I'm Nick Beveridge here with Jeremy Kitchen, and we got a guest today, Jared. Jared
Cozzocrea.
Cozzocrea.
Cozzocrea, for everybody listening. Nick is notorious at butchering names.
Yeah, and before we get into it, we'd like to thank today's first-time sponsor. Thank you so much to North Idaho Steam Cleaning. It's the steam that gets it clean.
Is that their sponsor? Is that their slogan?
Yeah, that's the slogan. Look at it.
That is pretty slick.
It says right here. Dennis Heavey, thank you so much for your sponsorship. So Dennis paid us in a potato chip clip, 2 pins, and some business cards. And he bought his round of sponsorships with that for the next week or so, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe a month.
Shout out to Dennis Heavey, by the way. Like, my mom, she was looking for a carpet cleaner for my brother's house. She went through a couple different cleaners and none of them were doing a good job. So I told her, I'm like, why don't you just call Dennis?
Dennis is the man.
And then my mom actually called me back and saying, like, he did such a good job. Like, him and Austin did so good.
They have such a legit setup.
Yeah.
And it may sound like we're getting more money than we are, because we're not. We got the potato chip bag clip.
Yeah. I want a hat next time, Dennis, just if you're listening.
Anytime you ever need carpets clean, this is the only guy in North Idaho you're going to have to call. They've got a legit setup, and it's the best of the best, and their pricing is pretty damn decent.
Yeah.
So anyway, shout out again, North Idaho Steam Cleaning. I don't know, maybe we can get a second clip.
Oh, a clip? I see what you did there.
Yeah. All right, Jared, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for calling me last night.
You're welcome. So Jared, he's been coming up to our real estate meetups for the last year or so. He's a real estate investor, so he qualifies to be here. But what I'd more like to talk about is your business that you've been running for the last year, because you've been doing some big boy business. And you're in a business that I've talked about a lot in the past, that if I were ever to get out of real estate and into some trades, I would probably get into the junk hauling business. And Jeremy can back me up on this. I'm not just saying that. I'm not just saying it now.
I've never heard you say that in your life.
Come on.
Hey, I actually have heard someone say that.
Okay.
RD actually told me, he's like, Nick says he wants to be in the demo business because these guys charge so much.
If I ever have my license taken away.
Yeah.
But anyway, tell us about yourself and what got you into this business and what you're doing these days.
I mean, if you would have asked me about 14 months ago about the junk business, I didn't even know it existed.
Oh,
I had no idea. I didn't know there was a whole industry around junk removal.
Okay, so 14 months ago, you didn't even know about the business
Yeah.
that you are crushing it in today.
I mean,
And not just
basically.
crushing houses, but like actually crushing it as a business. From what I hear from RD, unless he's exaggerated your success, but I don't think.
I think
he
he might exaggerate a little bit, but I guess it depends what you consider crushing. But yeah, I had a trucking business. I started when I was 21, and I ran through COVID, and that business is really just kind of a commodity.
Okay.
And so,
what kind of trucking business? What does that mean?
I mean, I kind of did a couple different things, but the main part of my business was like hauling freight like over the road.
Cool.
Okay.
And
So like if someone needs a car delivered to
no,
Seattle
like
or something like
groceries.
that. Oh, okay.
Like hauling like potatoes, hauling steak, hauling produce
Okay.
all over the country. You
So
know, we
big
hit
deliveries.
like 30 to 40 states. I ran 7 trucks cross country all during COVID when there was a big demand for it. But like I said, it's kind of a commodity business. You don't really get to pick your prices.
Okay.
And so you can be, you're kind of at their will. And so I wanted a way out of that.
Yeah.
And
for those that may not know what that means, what would you say a commodity business is?
I mean, the best way to describe it is probably like as a farmer, you have all these crops and you can have millions of dollars of, I guess liabilities or, and you don't get to pick your price.
Right.
Okay.
It's what someone will pay you
The
for
market
it.
pays what the market will pay for these kind of crops. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Sounds like housing.
that's kind of like trucking. It's like there's always someone that'll do it for this price or that price.
So is it pretty volatile?
I would say, yeah.
Okay.
It all comes down to supply and demand. And there's just, I mean, I don't know. It's such a big industry and you just don't really get to pick your prices. So you're kind of at the mercy of the person that you're hauling for, the industry, basically.
I do want to say, so what made you want to get into the trucking business, knowing that, obviously that it was a commodity and you were kind of like at your client's will for what they'd be willing to pay? Like, what made you want to start that?
So that's kind of a funny story because before I started the trucking business, I was a farmhand, and I actually wanted to be a farmer.
Okay.
And I couldn't just go out and buy millions of dollars worth of ground and equipment. And so I thought trucking would be my easiest way to start building up a business to get into farming. And then I quickly realized that farming isn't that great of a business either.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of stuck with trucking, and then it kind of went from there, and then started to grow that, and then quickly realized I didn't want to do that either.
Gotcha. Nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. And then so that was during COVID
Mhm.
is when you kind of started that. When did
Well,
you?
I started, yeah, right before COVID, basically, and then we were hitting it really hard during COVID because there was just a huge demand during COVID. I think people had extra money.
Did you
people
have?
ordered on
Did you have
Amazon.
like employees and stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I had me, and then I had 6 other employees that all had trucks.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
So what was that? What was that like?
that was hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Did
mean, huge liability having these trucks running over the road, and yeah, you're trying to manage. You're kind of trying to manage people that you never see.
yeah,
And then you're on the phone with them,
and you're just hoping and trusting that they're doing their job.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, what really kind of hit me was talking to my insurance agent, and they're like, yeah, if a really bad wreck happens with one of your drivers, just plan on losing everything. And I was like, okay.
Isn't that what I have insurance for?
Yeah. They're like, you can't buy enough insurance to cover you. And so
Okay.
that kind of, I was like, I think I'm going to start kind of downsizing. Once the freight prices started coming down, it wasn't as lucrative. I was like, it's just not worth it. And it was just so stressful.
So I want to ask, obviously, like you had your own trucks. Did you lease your own trucks or did you buy your own trucks? And if you bought your own trucks, how much did those cost? Because those are, all, like you said, they're costly pieces of material. And if they cause a wreck, they're going to cause a lot of damage. So
Yeah.
did you lease them? And if you leased them, how much was it? Or if you bought them, how much were your average trucks?
So the first truck I bought was $15,000.
Wow.
It was a cheap piece of crap truck that I started with, and I probably put another 50 into it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first truck that was just me running, and I kind of ran hard with that truck, and I was like, I need to buy a new truck.
So you bought a truck. Did I hear this right? You bought a truck for 15,000
Yeah,
and you put 50 into it?
yeah, at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you improve the
over
value of the
time.
truck?
No,
Okay.
no, it's like a
Oh,
pickup
over
from
time.
home.
Okay. So just like in repairs and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
over time?
It wasn't like right off the bat.
Gotcha.
And then so the truck I bought after that was a brand new truck when I was 22
Mm-hmm.
that I got financed on somehow,
Okay.
and it was 180,000.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
And then each trailer, it ranges depending on the condition, is like 50 to 100. So it's basically $300,000 for a truck and a trailer.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. It's just the cost of a house,
Yeah.
pretty much.
And yeah, I was like, one of my trucker buddies was like, yeah, call this person to get financing. And I was like, I'm not getting financed on a brand new $200,000 truck at 22. And they approved me. So I started shopping and flew to Oklahoma. And like everything, COVID prices were everything kind of shot up. So I actually drove it for about 14 months, and then I sold it for $215. So
What are the terms like on a truck priced that high?
I think it's pretty similar to a car or a truck. I think it was either 60 or 72 months. My payment was about
Okay.
$3,400 a month.
Yeah.
$3,440. So I
Okay.
paid for that one. So, and then most of the other trucks that I bought, I think I financed one more truck, and then I paid cash for basically the rest of them.
Okay.
But that was like the one big purchase, brand new truck.
Gotcha. Did you say you made a profit when you sold that?
That particular truck, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
made
cool.
About,
That's not common,
35.
right? In
No.
history to profit on trucks.
No,
Okay.
I think COVID, nothing was common during COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of weird
So,
pricing.
Yeah, I got some stories from that. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. What made you want to or what happened to that business?
Like I said, after COVID, the rates started coming down. A lot of our customers were like, oh, we can't pay this price anymore. Like, I have these other carriers that will haul it for this. And so I was like, nope, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to operate this super high risk, volatile business on slim margins,
Yeah.
And so I basically fired everybody, sold all the trucks, all the trailers. And I kind of knew that, and the prices were still good on equipment. So I was like, if I'm going to get out, the
Mhm.
time is now. I paid top dollar for all my
Yeah.
equipment during COVID. I need to sell it now or basically never.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I just kind of fire sold everything. and I kept one truck, and then it was just me in that one truck, and then I just stayed local for like 2 or 3 years.
What was it like firing people? Were they close to you at all, or
Um,
were they
it
loyal
was
friend employees, or is it not that kind
it,
of
it
relationship?
wasn't that bad. I think everybody was kind of understanding, and I kind of helped them find other like transition into other
Okay,
jobs and other carriers. So
gotcha.
it kind of worked out. I mean, yeah, I don't think there's any hard feelings. And then that was when I was like, I'm never having employees again. I said, I
Yeah,
never want employees again.
I've said that before.
Yeah. And then,
Yep.
fast forward a couple years and trying to hire more employees. So
All right.
learning how times change.
So I got a question here real quick. I know we're going to be transitioning to like junk removal, but so you sold off all the assets of the business. You didn't actually sell the business itself. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Did you just kind of let that die?
Yeah. I mean, I've kind of turned it into my holding company for my new
Okay.
business.
Gotcha.
I didn't want it to completely die, but the only real value in a small trucking company is the assets. And so
Sure.
sold the trucks, made a little profit on them, and then it still exists. So
Cool.
I mean, because like last year I was trucking.
Yeah.
Like all last year. And so I filed my tax for that company last year, and I was like, well, there's no reason to let it die.
Yeah.
Actually, LLC doesn't hurt anybody.
That's true.
So
Yeah. Is there any possibility of future liability from that business?
and, I wonder sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm
And the
really,
reason
I'm really
I say
not
that is
sure.
because like I've experienced like I've spent a little over a decade now investing in fix and flips and builds and that kind of stuff. And sometimes things that you've done years ago come back to haunt you
Mhm.
when somebody just decides, oh, you installed this roof incorrectly from what this inspector says, and now you owe me $22,000. And
Right.
it's like, that was like 5 years ago, and I didn't even install it, but my LLC was on it.
Yeah.
And so here
I've
it
kind of wondered
comes.
about that.
And I'm not giving any legal advice here, but what I just decided to do was like start from a clean slate
Yeah.
and just anything that was involved with properties that I no longer own, I just killed all those businesses, and it was real easy. You just like dissolve them through but anyway, that's what I decided to do.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea. I mean, I did start a new LLC for this, for the junk hauling business.
Yeah.
And I kind of kept the name the same. My trucking business was JTC Enterprises.
Okay.
Because when I started JTC Enterprises, I was like, I don't know what kind of business I was going to
But
start.
is it a similar logo?
Same exact logo.
Oh, nice.
All I did was have my buddy.
You just
basically change the
changed
bottom.
Change trucks
Yeah.
to haul. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. So,
That's perfect.
because I was like, nobody's going to hire JTC Enterprises for junk hauling.
Right.
But I kind of want to keep the JTC, and so I went with hauling, and
Works.
here we are.
Was it pink back then as well?
It was teal, actually.
It was teal. Okay.
And so I kind of kept the teal, and then I was kind of going to do teal dumpsters, and then ended up with pink.
What made you want to go pink?
I've always liked pink. I've always
Okay.
kind of had a soft spot for pink.
It's like the Dave Smith Motors type of look. Have you seen Dave
Yeah,
Smith
yeah,
Motors? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, they've got the hot pink.
Uh-huh.
And then when Trademark Mechanical was sold, they went
Mhm.
from teal to pink.
Okay.
I don't really know any other big brands that
I
went
was
pink.
going to say, the
but-
only two like pink businesses I know in the area are JTC Hauling and the electricians you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, the HVAC company.
Yeah, the HVAC company. Yeah. No, I think pink's it's a bold statement and it looks good. So black and pink, by the way, on the sweater, it's a good little fit.
It's easy to
Yeah,
remember.
thanks. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that was one thing that's been a big learning curve with this business is with the trucking business, it's like you just need like 5 or 10 relationships
Mhm.
and you're good.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do millions and millions off 5, 10 relationships in trucking. There's no branding. You don't need a website.
Right.
There's none of that stuff. And so the whole marketing and branding and getting new customers every single day is like a totally new thing. And so, I kind of just got the idea of I like pink. I was kind of deciding, should I get teal dumpsters or should I get pink dumpsters? I'm like, you know what? Pink would just be awesome.
Yeah.
And it's been a hit. I mean, I've even just on like Facebook groups, someone the other day was like, call that guy with the pink dumpsters. He tears the houses down. Doesn't know the name,
Yeah.
but just find the guy with the pink
But
dumpsters.
it's easier to remember pink than JTC Hauling.
Yeah. Yeah,
People's
exactly.
brains are just like, when you see it's so. I've seen your trucks and your dumpsters,
Oh, yeah, I get calls or texts
Um,
like almost every day.
like all over like Rathdrum and stuff. I think,
Yeah.
but you just don't forget it.
and you
but
don't
it's
see
so
the
easy to
black
see.
dumpsters, the green dumpsters running around.
Yeah,
town.
you see other people's branding, and they usually just have like, just like a what is it? Like a metallic or God, what is it? it's just a little magnet.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's what I'm trying to say. Just a
Yeah.
magnet
Yeah.
over the dumpster.
Yeah, most junk haulers.
And easily forgettable.
Mm-hmm.
So what does it cost to turn everything pink?
Well, it's actually not that bad because when you order a dumpster, they're getting painted anyways.
Oh, okay.
And so you really actually don't even pay any extra. You just get to pick your color.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So you bought it new and just picked your
Yeah, I
pick
just picked
pink
my
as a
color.
color. Okay, I thought you went and got it wrapped or something like
No.
that, or painted it
No,
yourself.
like my one truck I got wrapped, and that was like $4,000 for the wrap. But as far as the dumpsters go, they're getting built brand new, and you just pick a color and they just paint them.
That's awesome.
So that made it a lot easier. It wasn't an extra investment to just get them pink instead of black.
Yeah.
And so they've definitely been a pretty big hit. And half my reason for buying so many dumpsters firsthand was like I wanted to have them all over town. As like you said, when driving all over town, you just see them everywhere.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're just gonna start calling. Or
yeah.
maybe you don't need.
You become the tissue.
Maybe you don't need us
of
this
the-
week, but you're probably gonna need us in the next 6 months. And so you keep seeing the same person. You know who to call.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It's like I think it's subconscious because even like I know certain companies I don't know their name, but I kind of know their brand. So even if I go online and I'm looking for like this gutter company, I see this gutter company all over town that's like blue and yellow. I don't know what their name is, but once I see their name pop up on Google, I'm gonna call them.
Right. Okay.
So I think there's a lot of just subconscious branding that like even if you don't know their name or you don't remember them, but you go online and you're looking for them, and then once you see that name and you're like, okay, yeah, that's who I'm gonna call.
Yeah.
So
with our business, our branding has been horrible. we started off with North Idaho REI team at Keller Williams Realty Coeur d'Alene.
wow.
And that was the name that we had to go by. And over time, we eventually whittled it down to just REI Realty.
Yeah.
And we did switch up the colors and stuff last year. And I tried to pick I went and got the actual code of money and went like a shade of the dollar bill. And that's actually like our main color. I don't know how it's working.
Yeah.
I like it, but it's probably not that memorable.
Yeah.
But I want people to see our logo and think of money.
Yeah.
And that's one way I tried. So we'll see if it works. But
Yeah.
I probably should have just hired an expert.
And I keep considering like rebranding, like changing the actual name.
Yeah.
But I think at this point, almost the color is more important than even just the name.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I'm always kind of fighting it.
Yeah. And just to kind of chime in here, like I think what you're talking about with brand recognition, like people see the color, the name is going to follow with the color. And since you are the pink junk hauler removals, if you keep that pink and keep that branding, I think it's just going to keep spinning the wheels and kind of keep progressing you a little bit further and further with that. You could talk for branding on hours, of course, because I think like this is a digital age and we're all trying to figure out how to be best presented to our clients right now.
Yeah.
But just I want you to talk about real quick, Jared, just break down your business and tell us exactly what your services are and how you are able to help people, if you don't mind. Like obviously junk hauling, it means a lot of different things. Like you're obviously providing dumpsters, but what else are you doing?
One thing that I didn't realize when I started this business was like I'd say like 70 to 80% of our business is wrapped around real estate.
Okay.
So I never really envisioned that at the start. But whether it's somebody that's selling a property, like, okay, we got all our stuff that we're going to take, and then they got all this junk. Or I inherited this property that has 100 years of junk on it. Sure. And so, it started out, it was just me, and I was just kind of doing, just random, picking up mattresses, picking up people's furniture, and, small cleanouts. And we've kind of transitioned to doing like bigger jobs because we have, we have a bunch of dumpsters now. We have our own excavator. And so we do a lot of like big property estate cleanups. And so one thing with us is like women are kind of our main clientele because they're not just like the dudes like, oh, I can just do it myself,
That's kind of our mind frame for a lot of things. We can just do it.
Yeah, I'll just take 20 trips to the dump and pick up. So
very inconvenient, but like that's our first thought was we try to do it ourselves, and it's typically not the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think subconsciously, like we're trying to be useful, and we know that like I don't need really much skill to put stuff into a dumpster and take it to the dump, and I can get away from my family for a half hour. So I'm going to do that.
Yeah, it's probably worthwhile.
Different from, I don't want to touch that electrical box, call the electrician.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see how women would be your number one
Yeah, which
client.
kind of went with the pink too. Is like, right now we're tearing a house down. Had some fire damage for a lady in San Diego.
Okay.
Never met her. She just called us,
Mm-hmm.
and I basically was able to sell her on the fact that you pay us, we'll do absolutely everything, and then it's done. You don't have to do anything. All the permits, all the asbestos survey, like we just take care of absolutely everything, and you don't have to do anything. So that's kind of been our main market, is for women that just want like a total turnkey solution.
Sure.
It's actually been surprising how much work we've done for people out of the area
Mm-hmm.
that can call us, and we can just build that trust over the phone that we can just completely take care of everything for them.
That's awesome.
And so, yeah, I kind of started out as doing like, just random junk hauling when you think of that. And it's kind of morphed into doing like full property cleanups and then like tearing houses down.
Gotcha.
And even as far as tearing the houses down, a lot of that is even real estate related. It's like this old dilapidated house, and they want to just demo the house, clear the land, and then just sell it for bare land.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of what it's morphed into. And then the dudes that don't want to hire us or pay us top dollar for our services will just rent a dumpster.
Yeah.
So it's kind of,
You still win.
yeah, it's worked out.
Oh, you rent them. Okay, that's cool.
Mhm.
So bring us back though. Like, what made you want to start? I don't know if we talked about that yet.
Mhm.
Like, what gave you the
That's
idea? What gave you the idea to get into this business? And how did you start it? Like, how did you fund it? And how did you start becoming known?
So my uncle is like one of those serial entrepreneurs. It's probably
Okay.
had 20, 30, 40 businesses, maybe more.
Okay.
Like he's had some huge businesses and whatever. And he actually inherited a dump trailer from my grandpa. And my grandpa was like, I don't want you.
I was just turning off my mug.
Oh man, that's fancy.
Yeah.
So my grandpa or my uncle inherited this dump trailer from my grandpa. My grandpa's like, don't sell the trailer. I want you to do something with it.
Uh-huh.
And so my uncle started doing junk hauling. And then he was also doing like some pickup of like lightly used mattresses and reselling them, which is a whole industry. And I kind of dipped my toes into that and quickly realized it wasn't for me.
Yeah, it sounds horrible.
Like I was, yeah. So, when you buy a mattress and you can like return it for free in like 30 days or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, buying those.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd actually get paid to go pick them up.
Yeah, I know someone who does Airbnbs, and I
Yeah.
think they buy those for Airbnbs.
Yeah. And so then you post them on Facebook Marketplace, and posting anything on Facebook Marketplace is a pain in the ass. But like, I think the breaking point for me was when I had mattresses stacked up in like my extra living room, and this younger couple comes over, and they're like snuggling on my bed to try it out,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, I'm tapped out.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
just threw away all the mattresses, and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Man.
And so, anyways, my uncle was doing that. He's doing the junk hauling, and he told me about it, and I was just like, junk hauling, like that sounds really silly. He's like, no, seriously, like, you can make a bunch of money. I was like, okay. And at the time, it was end of last fall, and I wouldn't really haul for hay, which is what I was doing at the time over the winter. And so I was like, well, I got nothing else to do. And he's like, yeah, you could borrow my trailer, but then you got to bring it back and this and that. And, there's a couple like thumbtack and stuff like that was kind of where I started to get jobs.
Yep.
And I was like, no, what? If I just borrow his trailer, I'm not going to be very motivated to go out and get jobs. And so I kind of found what trailer I needed to get, and it was like $12,000, and I bought it in Spokane.
Okay.
And so I just went down, I paid cash for it. I had the money from my
So it's
trucking business.
like a 14-foot.
Yeah,
like-
exactly.
Okay.
It was like a
4-foot
14-foot
walls.
trailer. It had 2-foot walls.
Oh, 2 foot.
But
okay.
then I put 2 foot more of wood,
Okay.
like 2 by 12s basically on it. So there's 4-foot walls. And then I got army green color because I kind of, for that same reason, I kind of wanted to stick out.
Yeah.
And so I paid $12,000 for it, and I was like, I want to see how fast I can pay it off. Like or make my money back off the $12,000. And I kind of have this thing where I don't just kind of do something and I just kind of like whatever, whether it's business, personal, like hobbies, like I just go all in. And I just get obsessive over things. And so I was just kind of trying a little bit of everything, watching lots of YouTube, trying to figure out what to do.
Yep.
And, posting in Facebook groups, cold calling, cold emailing, messaging realtors on Facebook, going to these meetups, and just, doing a little paid advertising, just kind of like trying everything because I quickly realized like it's just a lead business. Like you just need so many leads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, quick commercial break here. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I really do appreciate it. If you want to give back, let me help you buy a house, or I can help you sell a house. It's the only way I make money when I'm not investing in real estate. I don't make money on this podcast or the events I do, but I do make money only when I help people buy and sell houses. So if you're looking for your next investment and you're here in North Idaho, I want to help you personally. If you are not in North Idaho, I can still help you out. I have a vast network of referral partners all across the country, and I can find the right real estate investor savvy agent for you so you don't have to. It doesn't cost you a thing. Thank you for your support. Back to the show.
Yeah. And so that's basically how it started. And when I started, I was like, oh, I'll just kind of do it for the winter and we'll see what happens. But I was planning on trucking like this year.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'll give it till like maybe like May. And if it hasn't taken off, I'll just go back trucking. And it was like probably right after the New Year's, it just took off. And so I just like canceled the trucking company.
Okay. So what do you feel like worked the best out of all the lead generating sources that you went after?
I mean, one of the best ones was probably like just adding realtors on Facebook.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And messaging them.
Nice.
That's what I do.
Yeah, because it's like like if you refer one of your clients to me, they're gonna call me, they're gonna hire me. There's not like I mean,
They're
I'm
not
not saying every single time.
They're not getting 3 bids like my crazy ass.
Yeah. I'm talking about your clients.
Oh, yeah.
Your clients, not you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that's so great. I think most people know about referrals is like they just call you as long as they like you and your price isn't ridiculous and they're just gonna hire you.
Yeah.
And so that's been one of the best probably lead sources. And maybe because I mean, towards the end of the year, it kind of seemed like maybe it's died down from that source, you know. But that was probably one of the one things that really got me going, and I actually kind of learned that from Alex Hormozy. Is he just Facebook and just cold DMs, and
Okay.
so I was just spending hours a day because I've actually only lived in this area for almost 3 years now, and so I probably only knew about 10 people in this area when I started.
Okay.
And so, and since I've added like probably 3,000 friends just in this area on Facebook.
That's awesome.
And that was probably the biggest thing.
And then
that
did you start
really got
posting
the ball rolling?
When you were doing jobs? Were you posting content?
I mean, I was posting
all?
a little bit, but it was still just a little uncomfortable for me because I was just like the whole marketing and branding and content, like getting myself out there was just so new to me.
Yeah.
Because for trucking, I'd post a picture of my semi once in a while, and didn't give me any business, but it was just for fun.
Okay.
So, yeah. I mean, and then in the Facebook groups, I was, trying to post in a bunch of Facebook groups, and who knows how good that does. So it's just kind of been a combination of things.
Okay.
I want to talk about real quick. So on your first dump trailer that you bought, obviously you wanted to kind of gamify it and see how fast you could pay it off or how fast you could make it pay for yourself. I think that's a brilliant tactic, by the way, on getting motivation and getting leads and actually because I did that with my drone too.
Yeah.
Like the drone cost, it was like $1,100. I'm like, if I do 11 drone sessions, this thing pays for itself. Everything else is pure profit, right? How long did it take you to pay that trailer off if you haven't already? Just from the business from having that one trailer.
I mean, as far as just revenue, I think it was about a month.
Cool.
And it paid for itself. And that was kind of like, okay.
Your very first month.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I was like, oh, okay. Maybe this isn't so bad after all.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then it was like, I mean, that was like November was kind of like last November was basically my full first month. And then, December and then around the New Year's was kind of slow with the holidays.
Yeah.
And then middle of January, it just started taking off. So.
Okay, cool. And then it was around that time too, you bought a rental house, right?
Yeah, I bought, I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I was going to Airbnb it originally. And I think we made the offer in December sometime. Because when I started this business, I wasn't really sure if that's what I was going to do. I was just kind of testing the waters.
Yeah.
So I was kind of looking into doing wholesaling and fixing and flipping, doing government contracting stuff, the junk business, just kind of keep myself busy trying to figure out what I was doing. So I was looking into the real estate thing and just kind of letting the junk business build traction.
Yeah.
And so I made my offer on that house in Osborne, I think in December. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. I got time to kind of fix it up. Well, then it ended up taking 3 months to close.
Yeah, because it was a VA assumable loan purchase.
Yeah.
Which was very unique. Like a lot of people know about that kind of in the industry, but nobody ever actually takes advantage of it.
Yeah,
But you bought a house that
shopping.
had an existing loan, and you went not sub 2, but like the conventional route of applying with that bank to
Uh-huh.
take over that loan.
Yeah, so the loan's
It
actually
was like a
in my
low
name.
interest rate,
2.5% interest.
2.5% interest rate.
Yeah, and I just saw it on Facebook.
Yeah.
I was like, it said 2.5% assumable loan, and I was like, what's that? I don't know. I mean, that sounds too good to be true. And so, yeah, they had like 4 years paid down on it.
Yep.
And so, I kind of got cold feet halfway through because originally I was going to Airbnb it, but it seemed like Osborne was kind of a weird spot for that because like a lot of people look at Kellogg and then they look at what is it, Mullen maybe?
Wallace, maybe?
Or Wallace, yeah. But people aren't really looking at Osborne. There's not a single Airbnb in Osborne. So I was like,
No,
maybe that's a sign.
I have some rentals in Osborne, and it's definitely more of just a chill. It's a nice little community.
Yeah.
But it's not much of a vacation town.
Yeah. So I kind of was like, well, do I just sell it or? And I kind of got like by the time I finally closed 3 months later, the junk business was just rock and rolling, so I didn't really have time to deal with it.
Okay.
And so I kind of finally got it fixed up, got some paint on it, and then I was like, I actually consulted with ChatGPT on what to do with it.
Yeah.
And it quickly talked me into like keeping it as a long-term rental.
Yeah.
Because with that 2.5% interest rate, like you're actually, it's actually cash flowing.
Yep.
And it's actually
paying down the loan.
I'm actually paying down the loan.
Yep.
And so, I mean, my payment is like right about $1,200 with over half of it going to principal. And then I rented it out for like $2,350 a month.
That's awesome.
So,
and this was a deal just on the MLS when everyone said deals don't exist.
Yeah. I mean,
a year ago.
They listed it high in the summer.
Yep.
They listed it really high. They listed it for like 360 or 380 or something like that. And I think they were kind of behind on the market. They just kept lowering the price.
Yeah.
And so I think when I looked at it, they were asking like 300, and I am getting it for like 280.
Yeah.
Thanks to RD with some negotiations.
Yep.
And then I think they owed like 246 or something like that on it. And so I had to put basically it was like 12% down. And that was actually my other motivation with the junk business. I was like, by the time I close on this house, I want to have that down payment in cash from the junk business.
Nice. Okay.
Which
So you
is like
didn't even have the down
$40,000.
payment yet. You were working on getting that while you were in escrow. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
that was kind of my motivation there. And then it's kind of worked out. Like I know on my house now I have a 7% interest rate. And so I know what it's like to not be paying the house off at all, basically.
Yeah.
Like I look at what I paid
take some
for,
time.
I look at what I paid for and how much I've paid off, and it's like nothing in 3 years. So to see this, like looking at those numbers in ChatGPT, that it's like you're actually paying it down and it's cash flowing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, maybe I will keep it for 5 or 10 years because those numbers really start to ramp up as
For
you
sure.
continue to pay it down. So and rents go up. So
Yeah. Are you making more than the minimum payment?
like on it monthly,
Yeah.
I just pay the minimum payment.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I would look into it and just if you're play with an amortization calculator, because sometimes if you can make like 10% or so over the minimum payment, it could be a good return on investment. But it's hard. Like, can you make more on your money than 2.5%?
Well, that's kind of why I was
probably
like 2.5%. I would fully utilize that.
Yeah. These days, it's maybe it's harder to do that. You know,
Yeah.
if you got a 7% mortgage, but it's still interesting to see how much money you'll save over time by just paying an extra $100.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's worth it, sometimes not.
Yeah. So that's just kind of on the back burner. I have a property management company. I don't even know my tenants' names.
Mhm.
Just how I want it.
Best way to do it.
And it's like I got one rental. I had a second rental in Moses Lake before I moved here that I recently sold. But it's like I got one rental. I got a property management company. I don't want to deal with it. So
Nice.
we'll see.
I want to go back to one other thing that you were talking about too, as well, Jared. So obviously, when you first started this, you were saying that like you were going to give it 5 or 6 months, and if it didn't take off, you were going to go back to trucking, right?
Mhm.
Why? Why would you like not give something a little bit of life and a little bit of time to grow? Like what's I know like it's you feel like maybe it's, you know, dipping your toe in the pool and it's just not right for you. Like the first 6 months of any business are just going to be tough. There's no denying that. I think you just got to give it a little bit of time to grow. But what was your motivation behind trying to go back to something you didn't like?
I mean, that's a good question, I guess. Maybe I had the wrong mindset, but I was just like, I already had the truck. I had the truck insurance. I had, you know, a really good customer that I hauled for like 6 months out of the year. And so I'd basically, you know, the 2 or 3 years before I started the junk business, I'd basically work like 6 or 7 months, take the winters off.
Sure.
Wasn't making a ton of money, but I was paying my bills and living comfortably. So it was a pretty lax lifestyle going from, you know, COVID running all those trucks. So I was kind of like a cruise mode.
Sure.
But it might have been too, like telling somebody, oh, I have a junk removal company. It's a little like humiliating. Like it's hard to have pride in that. Like it's taken me a while to warm up. Like even like meeting somebody, like still to this day, they're like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, I don't want to say I own a junk removal company.
Why?
Why?
I don't know.
I'd
Like
be
I want to say
You're such like a necessary service. I think you like
it just sounds silly though.
doesn't matter. People run ice cream shops where they sell you frozen milk. You know what I mean? Like what is silly?
Yeah, I don't know. So I think it might have been part of that where I kind of thought it was a silly business before I started it. So I was like, oh, we'll just kind of see what happens. You know, I didn't want to like put all my eggs in that basket, kind of have the trucking as backup. But I quickly realized that, yeah, it's not that silly of a business after all.
Yeah.
And it has been the best business that, I've had. And it's been very enjoyable. So,
Are there nicknames for this business other than like there's demo, right? I'm in demo.
yeah.
Could you say like I'm in sanitation and like,
I think I kind of joke about, being the junk man.
yeah,
The trash man. I like to always say I'm the local trash man. And
Right on.
I'd always remember my mom as a kid telling me like, make sure you go to school and go to college because you don't want to be that trash man.
yeah.
That rides around in the back of the on the garbage truck.
But it's more than just trash. Like I saw one of your videos, I think it was this morning or last night, and you're tearing down a house.
Yeah.
Like
And that's kinda what we
like with an
transitioned to.
excavator, like the whole house is being torn apart and
Yeah.
taken away. So your local trash man can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of now that we've kind of have the dumpsters and the bigger equipment and we got the excavator, we've kind of transitioned into trying to focus more on doing the demos because you can do one or two demos in a week instead of doing 25 or 30 junk jobs.
Okay. That pay
So-
about the same.
Yeah, exactly.
So what does your business look like today? It's been a year,
Mm-hmm.
1 year. Congratulations. You're in business.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Still kicking.
Are you profitable?
I mean, I'd like to think so.
Okay.
I mean, it's my books, I've been doing a pretty decent job keeping track of them.
It'd be, and I wouldn't shame you at all if you're not, because you're in growth mode.
Yeah.
Like you've only been doing it 12 months and you're constantly buying machinery and hiring
Yeah.
people. So I wouldn't expect you to be amazingly profitable right now, but you might be.
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing a little bit of what it's looked like financially and what you've had to, how much equipment you've had to purchase and
Yeah.
how much time you spend on this business?
Yeah, so-
what your debt looks like monthly and what you're on average you take in.
Yeah. So my goal at the start of the year, which I thought was just shooting for the moon, was 400,000 with 50% profit.
Okay.
And I like kind of was getting started, especially when it came to doing like our first couple demos and our first like some bigger property cleanups. Like I was just bidding everything high.
Yep.
Because I would rather be too profitable. And especially when it was just me or I'd get some helpers. I was like, I don't need these jobs.
Yeah, you don't want to lose money.
I didn't really have any debt other than like my house, And so I was like, I'd rather just bid them high and learn that way than bid them too low and learn that way.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, my goal is 400,000 and we're sitting like right at 900,000 right now for the year. And
That's awesome.
like about a month ago, I kind of got really fired up. I was like, I want to hit 1 million. I want to hit 1 million. But then, I started running the numbers with the holidays and it was like doable, but it's like we're gonna have to work 7 days a week until the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then I have 2 full-time employees. It's like, so if I run them into the ground and then I hit 1 million, great, but then I lose 2 great employees, it's probably not worth it.
But at
Yeah.
what cost, right?
At what cost? So I've kind of reeled it in.
900 in the first year is pretty good.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah.
For any business.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, right now, maybe my P&L isn't perfect, but I'm right at 50% like
Okay.
profit. And that doesn't include like
Damn. Yeah, you should buy his hats.
equipment. A what?
You should buy those hats.
Yeah, yeah.
You talked about sponsoring us just before the show with a couple hats.
So, I think my gross profit on the 900's like right at 650.
Okay.
Cool.
And I'm still kind of learning this business and, figuring out how to categorize everything. I was meeting with my accountant last week, but as far as, equipment, I have 13 dumpsters and then a
That's a
roll-off
lot.
trailer. And that was about $100,000 right there. And I paid cash for all that.
What does each one of these dumpsters cost you?
They're right about $5,000.
Oh.
Okay.
And so when I transitioned from that dump trailer to the roll-off trailer, that was about, it was 3 dumpsters and the roll-off trailer, which is like the dumpsters roll on and off the trailer, but then you haul it behind a pickup.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so that was about $40,000. I bought that in June. And then about 2 months ago, I bought 10 more dumpsters and that was about $60,000.
Okay. So you're primarily dropping off dumpsters and picking them up with the truck? And-
I mean, we do that for our own jobs.
Okay.
And so like when we're demoing a house, we'll have 2 or 3 dumpsters there.
Yep.
An excavator loading dumpsters all day, and then a full-time driver that's picks up a dumpster, takes it to the dump while another one's getting loaded, brings it back, drops it, picks up the loaded one.
Yeah.
It's just like a big efficiency thing.
Cool.
What does on average a full dumpster cost you to when you're at the dump as a commercial?
So
business
in
owner?
Coeur d'Alene, it's usually right about, I mean, if we're loading it with our own excavator, it's probably like around $300.
Okay.
So it's really not too bad. You go to Washington, it's about twice as much.
And about what do you charge a customer for filling up a dumpster?
I mean, it varies quite a bit.
I'm sure it does,
But,
depending on what it is.
like, let's just say an average junk removal job, if we fill up the whole entire dumpster, we usually charge about $1,200.
Okay.
But to dump that in Coeur d'Alene, since we're hand loading and it's household stuff, it'd be like $100 to dump it.
Okay.
But if we're doing like a demolition job, I kind of want a full dumpster to weigh or to kind of be billed out at like $2,000.
Yeah.
The equipment, driver, dumpster, and then that's more like $300 to dump it. So
Yeah.
I've kind of been winging my pricing.
Yeah.
It's kind of been all over the place.
Yeah. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
eventually. Yeah.
So
And what does an excavator cost?
So the excavator I got was about $135,000, and then
Okay.
I financed that completely, 0% interest.
So that's actually more than all the dumpsters,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Unless I'm doing my math wrong.
Yeah. No, that is the
Because
most
all those
expensive.
you bought 13 dumpsters for about what, 60, 70 grand?
About 100. Yeah.
Oh, about 100. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
But one thing with the excavators, they hold their value really, really good.
Gotcha. So
And-
in your first full year, you've almost paid. You could potentially almost pay for all the equipment.
Yeah.
That's-
Definitely. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow,
then I have another-
congratulations.
Thank you. And I have another. I bought 2 more semis basically. One was I just bought actually last weekend. I flew to Boise and bought it, and it was 77 grand, and I paid cash for it.
Okay.
My thing is like if I'm buying something like brand new, like a brand new Ford pickup, I'll
Yeah.
finance it, just get Ford credit.
Yeah.
Kubota, brand new, get Kubota credit. If I'm buying dumpsters or I'm buying like a used truck, then I just pay cash. That's
Right.
kind of been my thing. But it's just so easy to get financing directly through the manufacturer.
For sure.
It also helps you pay less taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of been one thing that I'm not sure how to do my books on. It's like if I pay cash for something,
Yeah.
it doesn't come off your P&L, but it comes off like your cash flow statement, I guess. And so trying to figure out how to incorporate those numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously talk to a CPA. I would imagine, if you bought a $50,000 truck, you don't have to necessarily pay 50 grand cash to take advantage of all the write-offs that it
Yeah.
comes with
Yeah. I don't know.
when
I'm
you're
just kinda
getting
winging
debt.
it.
But I could be wrong about that. If it works like it does in
Yeah.
real estate.
I think that's how it works because I think I could be wrong here. I know if you buy like a new Tesla that's
Yep.
for work or whatever, right? And
So-
you do actual rather than mileage, you get to write off the purchase of that. Even if you lease it, you get to
Yep.
write off the purchase of that.
One or the other.
One or the other, yeah, mileage
or,
or actual, yeah.
or the actual cost of it, even if you didn't pay for it all yet, and if you're just
Look,
making payments.
We're not CPAs. Just talk to
Yeah.
your CPA, man. I want to kind of dive back into circle back around. So you did,
But it
about
is important to think about this stuff.
It is,
because
yeah.
if you're making 900 grand and you're not doing this stuff correctly, or if you don't have a good plan, you might have a tax bill next year
Well, that's why
that's like 400 grand, and you're just like, oh shit, what I do wrong? Like, I don't have that money.
well, that's kind of why I keep buying
Like-
stuff.
Yeah,
It's like I don't want to
Yeah.
pay taxes. I'd rather have 0 and not pay taxes and just have all this equipment.
Yeah.
exactly.
So I want to talk about obviously this year, first full year in business, you're at about 900 grand. If you pushed it, you can make $1 million. Doesn't sound like that's the optimal play though. And you mentioned Alex Hormozy earlier, and this is the reason why I'm going to bring this up. Is your goal to scale this thing? And if it is, are you going to use Alex Hormozy's scaling to get you from 1 to 10?
Well, I think my my goals changed by the day.
Yeah.
One day I want to shoot for the moon.
Mm-hmm.
The next day I don't want employees. And so I think I'm still kind of finding my path.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I really like the money for me. I don't really care that much about whether it's, $1 million or 10 million. I just really like the back end of the business, like the marketing, like getting the customers, taking the calls, closing jobs. Like I really, really like that side of it.
Yeah.
Like I've bought my excavator and I've spent like 5 hours in it. Like this last, maybe 10 now, because this last Sunday I was like, I'm gonna go start tearing this house down, because my employee took the weekend off and went home for a couple days, and so I went out and smashed the house for like 5 hours, and I was like, okay, I'm good, you know. But I just really enjoy the back end side of the business, and so yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm just gonna keep shooting for the moon. I want to basically double in size next year,
Okay.
and I think I'm gonna start really pushing for like more dumpster rentals and get more dumpsters, because that's the only part of the business that I can see that can really be reoccurring and something you can actually count on.
Right.
And so, yeah, I want to kind of lean into that and kind of double up next year.
Okay. And a follow-up question to that, because you kind of just answered something else with it. So you're doing all the back end work. You're taking all the phone calls, you're doing all the marketing, you're filling out all the order forms, I'm assuming. Do you think it'd be beneficial? I mean, I hear that you like doing that kind of stuff, but do you think your time would be spent elsewhere finding new customers versus like filling out the paperwork and answering calls? Like you go meet face to face with more businesses and have an assistant kind of take the calls. Is that something that you think about doing?
Yeah. I mean, the goal for next year is to have a full-time office manager.
Cool.
But it's really only been like the last maybe month that I've been like almost completely out of the field.
Yeah.
And like, I think just having ADHD, it's so hard to figure out what to do. It's like, I can go post on Facebook. I can cold call. I can work on SOPs. I can make my employees' lives better and make more organized. Like, there's just so many things that I could do.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of start here and do a little of that and do a couple quotes. So I've really struggled with being productive in the office when there's not like, you know, a call coming in, or I have to do this estimate, or I have to go look at this job. Like, I have, you know, all this time.
Mm-hmm.
Like the rest of the day, I don't have anything I have to do.
Right.
My crew is awesome. They're out doing their thing. There's nothing I have to do the rest of the day. And so like for me, it's been really hard to find that structure. And so what I'm actually going to do the rest of the day is I'm going to go look for a commercial building to lease.
There you go.
And I want to have a shop, a yard, and maybe like 2 or 3 offices, and have an office I actually go to every day with an office manager to keep me accountable, and I keep them accountable. So I think on one hand, it's like that is a big expense, but I think it can drastically pay for itself.
Right. And if you're planning on like 10xing your business, a drastic expense such as an office manager in a commercial space doesn't sound like it's that far out of like reality, honestly. Yeah. And I think, Jared, you and I, we struggle with a lot of the same things in business where like if I'm busy, I can do busy work all day long. Like you put me in the business, I'm going to rock it. But the second I'm not taking calls, I'm like, okay, I've got 100 things to do. And I just kind of like chip away at every single one and I don't make any progress. And I hear you and I understand you.
Yeah. No, that's definitely my problem. It's one thing if like, you know, you're out in the field all day, you're doing these jobs, and then you come home like, hey, I have to do a couple estimates, I have to do some invoices. Yeah. But it's like, when I'm not out in the field all day, I kind of get that stuff done. It's like I got all this time. Mm-hmm. I'm at the house, have my office, my back hurts. I go sit on the couch, I'm gonna go on my laptop. Okay, I'm not being productive. You're back to the office. Yeah. So it's like, oh, okay, great. I just worked like 14 hours. But I did like 2 hours of work. Right. So it's like I want to go to the office, go work for 8 hours, 10 hours, go to some jobs, like clock out at 4 or 5, go home, and I bring my computer home. Yeah. And I go home and like have a life. Yeah. And I think I could be, you know, way more productive throughout the day, and then go home and like actually have a life, not just work 7 days a week in my home office, not really actually doing anything. Sure. But then you always feel guilty, you know, stepping away, you step back in, you don't even get anything done. So I've been really struggling trying to do the office work when that's all I've really had to do the last month. Yeah. So it's been a transition from being in the field, doing the junk hauling, you know, doing all the stuff, to like trying to transition to being hands off, which was kind of the goal. But now I'm like, it's a totally different side of the business. Yeah. Like just doing the back end stuff. So it's been a learning curve. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. I find it incredibly helpful to go to an office because I can work from home. I can work from in the studio, but I do not get nearly as much work done as when I go to the office. There's a big printer there. My assistant is there.
Yeah, they're keeping you
and I'm just, you know, I go to, and I have nothing but projects there in my office and very, very little distractions. And I can totally relate. Like, yeah, if I'm trying to work from home, it's just I can be at home for 8 hours and get like 30 minutes of work done, maybe.
Yeah, that's kind of my issue. And I think, just going somewhere where there's other offices and other people all working.
Yep.
I think subconsciously you just feel obligated to just like grind and just get stuff done.
Yeah, you're just in this mindset of you're in the environment of work.
Yeah.
And when you're home, you're in the environment of home. Some people can switch that on and off in their head, but I can't.
Yeah, it's not working for me. So
Yeah.
I'm looking to make a change pretty quick, and I think it'll work kind of hand in hand with having an office manager. Because at first, I was like, oh, I can have an office manager that works from home. But it's like,
No.
well, what are they going to get done?
not
how am I going
nearly
to train them?
Yeah.
So
in
we
my
can kind of work
experience,
side
doesn't
by
work
side.
well. Doesn't work well.
Yeah. So I think, getting the shop space with an office, 2 offices, getting that office manager to be able to work side by side, I think is gonna help. So
I know we're getting close to wind down time. Nick's got an appointment here in a little bit, but so you don't have an office right now. Where are you keeping all your equipment? Like, is it just stay on the road?
I mean, it's scattered.
Okay.
It's totally scattered. So I live in Spirit Lake, and my house that I bought there used to be a big ranch, but it got split off to a bunch of storage units. And so I have like the smallest lot in my whole neighborhood. And so I am.
Are you on acreage at all?
No, I'm on a quarter acre.
Oh my gosh.
A quarter acre, yeah. I have a
so you need to have
two-car
jobs
wide
to put all your stuff.
Yeah, so I have a 2-car wide driveway that we can get basically a truck and a trailer, and then maybe 2 trucks, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I have like street parking, and I just have shit everywhere.
Gotcha.
And it's a disaster. I was actually.
I'm gonna look for some land for you. I know what to do today.
So someone called me. Someone called me the other night when I just started moving trucks around, and we were on the phone for an hour, and I was just finishing moving stuff. Cause it's like I need this truck, but this truck's in front of here. Anyway, so yeah, my goal is to always have the dumpsters out.
Yeah.
But I actually rent a yard in Hayden on Hayden Ave.
Okay.
That I can leave dumpsters at.
Cool.
Gotcha.
But yeah, when everything kind of comes back, like, especially our excavator and that trailer and the semi, I just bought another semi. It's like I did not have room.
Oh, I have a quarter acre in the city of Spirit Lake that
really?
Maybe you can use. Maybe I can rent you a little spot of it.
I'm really gonna have to sponsor the show now.
Yeah. It's off 8th Street in Adams,
Okay.
if you know where that is.
No idea.
On the east side.
So yeah, that's been a struggle, is having all the equipment and absolutely no room. So
yeah,
I was kind of wanting to buy a personal place, personal land with a shop, but I was like, I'm in growth mode in the business, so it's like my house is fine. I'm just gonna go lease a commercial space until we kind of figure out what we need, where we need to be.
Nice.
So I always just like to say I'm going for broke.
Yeah.
I have no wife, no kids. I'm just gonna go for it, and if I go broke, then we'll try something else.
Well, at the rate you're going, it sounds pretty hard to go broke unless you just intentionally try to fuck it all up, or if you're not well insured.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Yeah,
thanks for being here. Thanks for telling your story, and we look forward to hearing some more from you. Maybe we'll have you on next year or something like that.
That'd be
And see
fun.
how you're doing.
I also look forward to a hat from you, by the way.
Yeah,
I look forward to a hat as well. All right, thanks, guys. All right.
Wait, so hold on. Before we leave, where can people find out more about you? Like, just I know you got to get going, but like, plug yourself. Where can people find out about getting junk and removal services?
I mean, you can always go to our website. It's jtchauling.com. It's pretty disgusting, to be honest.
It needs an update. There's no pink.
Done is better than perfect.
We are working.
There's no section to like book like a dumpster.
We've been working on a new website.
Okay.
But like Facebook is really good. If you go to JTC Hauling on Facebook, or you can just call me 208-500-8102.
Right on.
But yeah, avoid the website. Just probably go to
don't do.
Yeah, just go like give us till the new year on the website, because we do have a new one in the works. But
well, there's links everywhere. Click here for a quote. So
where?
At least on your website.
Well, don't go to the website.
Okay.
Just go to Facebook.
I was just
JTC Hauling.
Our services. Okay, don't worry about it.
Or Jared Cozzocrea on Facebook.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. We will see you next week.
Thank you so much for checking out the Investor Shed podcast. If you enjoyed your time, make sure to leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Follow along on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at The Investor Shed for shorts and promos about each episode. Do you want to be a guest or know someone who has great real estate investing advice and stories? Reach out to us at theinvestorshed@gmail.com.